Okay, here's the fastest way you can improve your 5K time dramatically. If you want to improve your 5K time or your parkrun time significantly, I'm going to give you the method and 4 key sessions to help you within a 6 to 8 week period completely change the way that you run 5K. Now, if you're anything like me, you get stuck in marathon running and then you feel like your top end speed is your 5K speed. But that's not the truth. What actually happened to me is I could run 3 minutes per kilometer all out in intervals, and my 5K time would be 15 minutes. If I tried to run just 10 seconds per kilometer faster and do 1 kilometer intervals in 250, my biomechanics would be all off and I'd be striving for pace and I'd get myself into trouble. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that and what it means for you if you're running 5K in anything from 18 minutes to 30 minutes is a completely different athlete once you do the type of sessions I'm going to give you consistently week after week. The first step is to do a 2.5 kilometer time trial. Now, do that in control, manageable, so you're not striving for pace, but you're running faster than you would in a 5K, or you're aiming to. If, like me, you're struggling to go much faster in that 2.5K than you can in a 5K, then that's a huge element of your game you can improve and unlock a whole different level. But let's say you're running 5K at the moment, or parkrun, in 22 to 25 minutes. And in that 2.5K, you're able to do that in 10 minutes. So 4 minutes per kilometer or 6:26 per mile. That's the pace that we're gonna run these sessions at. We're gonna get extremely efficient at moving over the ground at our 2.5 kilometer pace. Now, I give myself at least 6 to 8 weeks to see this training kick in, and you want to do one of these interval sessions once a week together with the rest of your training. But of course, the longer that you give yourself, the faster you're gonna get. Session 1, 20 times 300 meters with 60 seconds rest in between. So shorter reps, 300 meter reps, but we're doing 6 kilometers of volume, so 20% more than the distance of the parkrun or the 5K. And you're not trying to set any records, you're just focusing on that 2.5 kilometer time trial pace. You're focusing on building volume, moving over the ground at that pace. And the perfect session would look like 20 times 300 meters with 60 seconds rest in between, where you're able to put the effort in, but the heart rate is also recovering nicely in between reps. That will prove to us that not only this session is sustainable, but we're able to go up in rep length. Session number 2, 12 times 500 meters with 60 seconds rest in between. And again, we focused on that 2.5 kilometer time trial pace, longer reps, 500 meter reps, but there's only 12 of them. And again, we're building volume, 6 kilometers of volume at running over the ground at our 2.5 kilometer pace, and we're becoming comfortable at moving over the ground at that pace. So our biomechanics are starting to play ball, and we understand what it feels like to be going pretty significantly faster than our current 5K pace. Session 3, 8 times 800 meters with 60 seconds rest. So significantly further per rep than that initial session. But again, once we're getting comfortable at running over the ground at that 2.5 kilometer time trial pace, this is starting to become quite comfortable. 6.4 kilometers worth of volume, so slightly more volume, but only 8 reps. And again, the perfect session is you going up in effort during the reps, but gradually bringing that heart rate down in between so you can manage the total session and you're ready to go again for that next rep. What you're also doing at the same time is you're learning how to pace the 5K. An interval session is like pacing a 5K. There's 8 reps, 8 times 800 meters or 20 times 300 meters. You can split that into quarters and focus on, okay, there's the beginning, the middle and the end of the 5K. This is exactly the same. So we're focusing on getting better at the 5K in all areas. Session 4, 6 times 1 kilometer with 60 seconds rest in between. Now, if we can do this, and we can do it in training, and we can do that at the pace, 2.5 kilometer time trial pace, we know we're in a really good place if we can put together a few of these sessions to be able to really attack the 5K or the parkrun. But it's all about being in control. If you're striving for pace and you're in that risk reward zone that doesn't make sense and you're just trying to hit a certain pace because that's what the time trial suggests, that's not where you want to be. You want this to be in control. And if that means a little bit less pace, again, what we're aiming for is these 6 Perfect mountings where the heart rate is recovering fast in between reps. Now you could just repeat those sessions on a weekly basis, keep the volume and the rep length exactly the same, and you would move forward gradually, because the only thing that would be changing is the intensity, is the pace that you're running those reps at. A better way would be to look at your whole training week and schedule, and more importantly, get to know what your weaknesses are and your limiting factors. Once you figure out this stuff in running, it's gonna take you to a whole different level. But in general, most runners will see huge improvements from consistently running a strong interval session on a weekly basis. Remember, there are no gold medals for the fastest interval session or the fastest one single training session. It's about the consistency over the weeks and months. It's about how this speed feeds into the rest of your running and of course your racing. And I'll put on the screen how I improved my 5K time by nearly 9 minutes in just 5 months.